Welcome to Comedy Unleashed. This is London's free-thinking comedy club. That does not mean that we are here to be offensive. It just means that we are here to laugh at comedy, understanding that none of this is meant specifically to be about you, you fucker. It's not about you! Isn't it? Oh, that's very disappointing. I'm so sorry, madam.
Coronavirus? Tell us what happened.
It wasn't supposed to be like this. It wasn't supposed to go this far.
How did it all start?
We were all just doing our thing, you know? No big deal, infecting a few bats, a couple pangolins.
The hell is a pangolin?
Like a tamir.
Oh.
Then one guy was like, hey, let's make the jump to humans.
What did you think about that?
I was like, I don't know, guys. I mean, look what happened to polio or whooping cough, you know? It's like totally wiped out. I mean, humans can be brutal.
How did they convince you to go along?
They were like, don't be a reproductive organ cell. Measles is having a second act. No one cares about global warming. People are dry cleaning their vaginas.
It's steaming, but go on.
It just didn't seem like science was really your thing right now, so we made the jump.
It's weird because the virus is going on so long. The Chinese virus. When I bought something from China in the past, it's broken in like 5 minutes. And what's also odd is that mostly men are dying, especially in China. Almost all the numbers are male. I guess it's because the Chinese government has already killed all the girl babies.
Hello, I'm Sergeant Detective Officer Peter Pisspot from Twat Valley Police, and I hope you're having an enjoyable Easter weekend. I'd like to remind you at this time of your civic responsibilities regarding social distancing and isolation during the coronavirus lockdown. As you know, it's imperative that you remain inside your own homes, in the same room, in the same chair. Do not leave that chair unless it's essential. If you need to go to the toilet, go to the toilet. On the way back, have a look for a nappy, pop your nappy on, sit back down in your chair and stay there. My colleagues and I will be on patrol, looking through your front window, make sure you're still in your chair, and there will be police drones in operation. If you do have a dog that needs exercising, government advice is to bury him in your back garden, let him dig his way out. If you have small children, you are advised to lock them in the boot of your car. You may be struggling with mental health issues at this time, in which case we would suggest you silently scream into a pillow, chew your own fist, or weep into a salad. If you need to go to the supermarket, my colleagues and I may be checking your trolley to see what you're having for dinner. You might be asked to provide recipe ideas, which you are legally obliged to give us. If we find you sunbathing in the park, you will be tied to the back of a police van, dragged down the road at 40 miles an hour until your head looks like pulled pork. Remember, we're in this together. Keep washing your hands until they're wrinklier than a pincher's ballsack. Be virus aware, otherwise catch it and die.
Oh, sorry, are we rolling? Hi. How's lockdown going? Well, I've had to homeschool the children since we went on lockdown on March 23rd. Of course, the school is sending stuff home, but they don't really care what your children are doing as long as they're learning. So my children have become fantastic at laundry. We've started doing science experiments because, bless them, the school doesn't have the budget. So we've learned that asparagus does indeed change the smell of your pee, but not the taste. Oh, I sent my youngest a forensic paper. He's still in primary school, bless him, but they don't do enough forensics in primary school, in my opinion. Not since the famous five have we really had a crack team of adolescent crime fighters. Just the other day, he finally turned it in. Of course I had to fail him. You don't write that shit down.
Hey, you! Are you getting married? Are you determined to have the wedding of your dreams but stuck in a state of financial hardship? Then call Crystal Bouvier, Economy Wedding Planner. I'm the most experienced wedding planner in the business.
Definition of business does not necessarily include wedding planning.
I'll spare no expense
Several expenses may be spared.
to make your dream a reality. I offer a whole range of luxury wedding features for just a fraction of the cost, including budget invitations. It's just on a napkin. Emergency dress replacement options. It's my dead mom's. Quality live entertainment. I'm also the band. Wedding night love aids. It's my dead mom's. And rustic style catering. Eggs. Call Crystal Bouvier and I guarantee I'll help you get the most out of your special day.
Definition of special is subjective, and said day may not necessarily be distinguishable from any other day.
When did you know it was getting out of hand?
What's a hand?
It's like a bulbous spike glycoprotein projection above the lipid bilayer.
Well, I saw this multicellular organism on the news one day, and he must have already been very ill because he was this sickly orange color. Anyway, he said what we were doing was a hoax and that we'd all miraculously be gone once it got warm out, and I thought, these humans are
The winner of the beauty contest, Miss England, is returning to her NHS job as a junior doctor. As a respiratory specialist, she's swapping taking people's breath away to giving people their breath back. The NHS have decided on a phased return for the 24-year-old in order to flatten the curve of pervy bastards.
Today we're doing something different. Here's a bit of my fucking culture. Let's take a trip to the old town. We're here with Bella Italia. Oh, how the fuck are you?
What?
How you doing?
Yeah, good.
Good. You coming in for fucking years. Look at all these fucking pans here. Not only are they useful for cooking, but you could also use one to take a cocksucker out. A lot of memories here. Remember 20 years ago I got my joint copped at that very spot. That is fucking delicious. That's great.
Thank you.
The service here is second to none, but I gotta say one thing. You're gonna kill these cocksuckers to put on a fucking bread basket every now and again. You don't need no cheese on a fucking 4-cheese pizza. Make it rain, baby.
Snowing.
It's fucking snowing here. Alright, that's enough. Thank you.
I don't want to come back.
Jesus Christ. This guy's going all the fucking way here.
You know, I don't ever want to be mistaken for sexist. Shush. But I do like opening the door for folks, so what I do now is I just open the door for all people smaller than me. No problem there. After you, madam. After you, madam. After you, madam. Sir.
Good evening to you. Welcome to the home bar. Here's a good joke. Fella's in a terrible car crash, wakes up in hospital. As his feeling returns to him, he has a strange numbness between his legs, and lifting the covers he discovers that, sure enough, everything has gone. The doctor comes in and confirms his suspicions. The accident was so terrible that they had no option but to amputate. But, he tells him, you're in luck. You've arrived in one of the few hospitals in the country which offers penis transplants. You can either have one which closely resembles your original package, nobody will know there was any difference. You can have an upgrade to an Italian model, which costs a little bit more but has a certain kind of smoothness and charm, which has proved very popular over the years. Or you can have the West Indian, which is everything you've heard, but does cost about 10, maybe 12 grand. Well, the fella says, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask the wife about this. So the doctor brings in the phone. The fella has a quick conversation with his wife. The doctor comes back in and says, right, what's the decision? Well, the fella says, we're going to have a new kitchen.
Well, hi! Luna, babe! Oh, it is so good to see your face.
Have I caught you at a bad time?
No. Oh, my naked book group has flipped online. We're reading Moby Dick at the moment. So why don't you call back in like an hour?
Oh, I'd love to, but I actually have a how to make a face mask out of old knickers workshop on Zoom at 5.
Oh, okay. Well, look, let's find a time for a proper catch-up. I mean, I'm like so free these days.
Oh my god, Delilah, me too. I mean, like, hello, isolation day 3.
What about tonight?
Shit, I have a Tinder date.
Luna, you can't go out.
No, this is on Skype. I mean, it's like wine, cheese, making love, online.
Oh, nice.
A church in Kentucky has started offering their congregation drive-through confessions, with many asking for popcorn chicken.
I'm going to run down a list of the most common human viruses, and I want you to give me your honest opinion of them. Australian bat virus.
Drinks a lot of beer, flies on the other side of the sky.
Banana virus.
Likes to pretend it's infecting a telephone.
Cowpox.
Salt, pepper, sear on high for 10 minutes.
Coxsackie virus.
Coxsackie.
Ebola virus.
Overrated.
Echovirus.
What?
Echovirus.
What?
Echovirus.
What? Human.
Stuck for ceremony ideas? Don't know who should officiate? Well, look no further, because not only am I the planner, I'm also the priest. Did your bride-to-be find out about your stag night indiscretion? No need to cancel, because not only am I the planner, I'm also the bride. I'll marry you. I'll marry you so hard, you just see if I don't. Sick and tired of searching for the perfect place to say I do? Crystal Bouvier Weddings has access to a whole range of exclusive venues and unique locations for your event, including
Rustic outdoors.
It's my uncle's farm.
Urban shithole.
It's my uncle's farm.
And family farmyard shit.
It's Weatherspoons.
European bat lysovirus.
Makes you think skinny jeans look good on you.
Horsepox.
All the other poxes wish they were hung like one.
Herpes virus.
You tell me, Tom.
Rhinovirus.
Going extinct.
JC polyomavirus.
Are they still open?
Japanese encephalitis.
Infects robots.
Mango encephalomyocarditis virus.
We just call him Mickey.
Macola virus.
Hello, Macola.
New York virus.
Can't afford to infect its own cells. Has to share it with 3 other viruses.
Norwalk virus.
Infects bored rich housewives. Makes them get their real estate license.
Onyang virus.
Come on, that's not real.
Orf virus. Oropuche virus.
Where do you come up with these names?
Japan this morning has woken up to a state of emergency, whereas every morning here in the UK we wake up to a state of a man called Piers Morgan.
In the kitchen? How's lockdown going in the kitchen? Well, let me see. My husband came home with free-range eggs the other day. Free-range eggs. We only ever go organic. I mean, I'm fine. But the quiche will suffer. Oh, here's something. The other day, he brought home the only chicken in the postcode. Full chicken, no giblets, of course. I mean, but he gets there nice and early. I'm so proud of him. First in line when the shop opens, wipes down that basket, races round in record time. So proud. By the time I get it roasted, my daughter announces that she's gone vegetarian. Apparently she watched some documentary on Netflix. That's what you get when you set all the homework online. What happened to books? Books.
Comedians might tell you that this streaming comedy for stand-ups feels a bit weird because we don't hear the audience laugh. But I've been doing right-wing comedy mostly in London clubs. Not much of a change there for me. If anything, it's a bonus because now I don't have to see angry faces in front of me.
I'm really angry about the coronavirus because I used to really like Corona. And now, if I get Corona, I have to get a 6-pack or else I'll feel cheated.
Polio.
You know Ralph Lauren's real name is Ralph Lipschitz?
Punta Toro virus.
Have you tried translating that yet?
Rabies.
That golden retriever had it coming.
Sandfly fever Sicilian virus.
Makes you slowly bleed to death in a delirious fugue. And great sauce.
Sapporo virus.
Same as Budweiser virus, but looks more exotic.
Soul virus.
Causes chronic BTS.
Simian virus number 5.
A little bit of RNA is all I need. Wah!
Southampton virus.
Floods your eyes with douche every summer.
Vaccina virus.
Hates itself.
It's true that we are living in unprecedented times now. For the first time in our living memory, it is now more dangerous to criticize the NHS than Islam, because the National Health Service has been officially elevated to state religion, and you must protect it. That's the slogan. You are in the middle of a pandemic, you must find food in empty supermarkets, you must fear for your family, fear for your job, but also protect the NHS. And that was the slogan by the Prime Minister, who put it also on his lectern: protect the NHS, not the other way around. And people say his tone was Churchillian. Although I never heard Churchill saying, the Germans are coming for you, now go out and protect the armed forces. Also, the fire brigade have a lot on their plates. Do not contact them for all those non-essential fires.
My philosophy has always been pick something you love and do it to half of your ability. Because as my dad said, you don't deserve to move away from where you are. This is what you are. Don't get fancy ideas.
He told me it'll be 200K. I'm looking more like 300. We've been in the fucking business for fucking years.
He's paying you 300.
What the fuck did I just say? Yeah, some pepper, thank you. Thanks very much. This fucker's going in for the fucking kill. That's the third time. Jesus fucking Christ. My mother used to make a mean babatola. You sell any babatola? So babatoli should be here. It was here last time. It was fucking... I just wanted a babatola. I came specifically.
If you have in your pocket, I can make it. Yeah.
From the wise head.
Relax.
Jesus fucking Christ. No babatoli. Enjoy your fucking wine?
Yeah.
Cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
No friend of mine, Gabrielle, he's always looked after you.
Yeah, man.
Remember when we buried that body, that guy with Jimmy the Fish? You got rid of that ketchup.
Yeah, good idea.
But you see, the British have quite a few national delusions, and one of them is that the NHS is the envy of the world, only if the world has never seen a hospital in Western Europe. But every nation has their own national delusions. For example, the Italians believe that just by virtue of being Italian, they can speak Spanish. You just speak Italian as if you have had a stroke and it becomes a Spanish man. Or the French, they grow up with the belief that they really won the Second World War. And speaking of the Second World War, the Germans, you're gonna love this. The Germans are convinced that they can invade and destroy Greece and make thousands of Greeks die of starvation without paying any reparation whatsoever, and then come back a second time later and ask for even more money because the Greeks were a bit cavalier with their credit cards. Now, thanks for listening. Stay safe until next time. Whatever you do, do not contact the NHS though, although you have been paying for it every bloody month of your life so far at gunpoint. Take care.
I caught my son wearing his school shoes in the house the other day, on my cream Axminster carpet. Honestly, he said it helps him think. I said, that's not possible. You need a brain to think. No one with a brain would wear their school shoes in the house and still expect to reach adulthood.
An IT consultant has complained that a travel company has refused to pay him over £17,000 he paid for a chalet at a skiing resort. 17 grand. You could go to Butlins for 17 quid. And you would get a fucking refund. Plus Butlins is like a skiing resort, because you freeze your tits off, you're surrounded by wankers, and there's a good chance you'll leave there wearing a neck brace.
You know, the thing is, the coronavirus makes AIDS feel like a vacation. Because with AIDS, you had to get fucked up the ass first, then you got it. And now you get it just by touching a button. Which really does redefine getting fucked up the ass, doesn't it?
Has a family argument led to last-minute no-shows? Crystal Bouvier Weddings can fill those empty seats. Because not only am I the planner, I'm also a master of disguise. I can impersonate any guest, including drunk mother of the bride. You go, baby! Drunk mother of the groom. Whoa! Inappropriate wealthy uncle. Do you think the bridesmaids have got any knickers on? Generic underage inebriated cousin. Mummy, I've been sick in your handbag. Disgruntled northern relative. £4 for a pint. And unidentified Scottish guest. Oh my god, your dress is beautiful. Thank you so much for inviting me. Are you having a good night? Oh. I'll fucking kill you, you cunt! And on top of all that, for an additional $39.99, I'll throw in a whole host of stag and hen do extras. Because not only am I the planner, I'm also the stripper! So call Crystal Bouvier today, because by tomorrow, I may be in jail. Call now!
When I started learning about how big space was, I stopped worrying about what people said on Twitter so much. Walk outside, seems fine. Seems fine out, huh?
Okay, Okay, so how about tomorrow day?
Oh, I can't, I'm afraid. I'm cultivating the garden into an organic vegetable sanctuary. But what about tomorrow night? House party sesh with the lads?
No, it's going to be a full moon, and I'm actually going to be hosting my Wicca group's full moon ceremony.
Ah, is that through FaceTime?
No, telepathy. Hashtag female intuition. Saturday night?
No, I'm afraid I'm going to a virtual online rave. What about next week?
No, I'm actually going to be at my writer's retreat in the shed. 1 week to write a masterpiece. April?
No, pre-summer hibernation, rejuvenate like a tortoise. May?
I'm actually going to be trekking the Pacific Trail, like Reese Witherspoon, but up and down the stairs. It's going to take like 3 months at least.
Right, okay, well, I mean, that takes us to August, and I guess we're going to be out of lockdown by then.
Yeah. Maybe we should check in when things are more certain?
That sounds like the best idea.
Okay, well, ciao, Bella.
Okay, just before you go, do you think you can take your laundry out of the machine? I really need to do a whitewash.
Sure, of course. And can I be super cheeks and have some of your cheese for my date tonight?
Of course you can.
Oh, you are such a peach. Okay, au revoir, petit pois.
Bye.
And so, on Easter weekend, Boris Johnson, our Prime Minister, has risen from the dead just like Jesus Christ, our Lord and Saviour. Hallelujah. On leaving intensive care, Boris Johnson thanked the doctors and nurses who saved his life, saying that the NHS is powered by love, which I'm sure is true, although 350 million a week probably wouldn't hurt either.
Which is not in itself to be sneezed at.
All of us are incredibly grateful to him for taking one for the herd.
It's hard to find words to express my debt.
And becoming a victim of his own policy of keeping calm and carrying corona on. Whether or not his ageing supporters will feel the same remains to be seen. The virus may wipe out 15% of over 80-year-olds who predominantly voted in the referendum to take back control of our borders, only to see Boris leave them wide open during a deadly global pandemic when all of Europe shut down theirs.
Take back control. If we take back control.
My husband still can't understand why I make him strip completely. When he comes in, right there at the front door, everything off. Don't come in my house with clothes on. What he doesn't understand is that the building have a wagers to who's going to break up first, and I never lose those things.
What would you say to humanity if it were sitting in front of you right now?
Look, it's nothing personal. Viruses, we're not even technically alive, which is pretty up when you think about it. It's like being attacked by murderous dust. Look, stay inside. Avoid personal contact, wash your hands often, don't touch your face. Most of all, learn. Learn from this and how to respond in the future, because one day, one of us will be back.
We got it? It's a wrap?
Can you give me a hand taking off this microphone?
Oh yeah, sure.
Got you!
Yeah!
A short time ago, life was flying by so fast. No time for anything. Then lockdown handed me my chance. I was finally going to write a book, learn how to mix cocktails and to cook. I was gonna lose weight and get so fit, spend some quality time with the wife and kids. I would do a course in computer code, invoice all of the money that I'm owed, learn a language and the names of the stars, and teach myself how to play guitar, do seminars and pen my memoirs. Now I'm sat in my pants, slugging back wine in a kind of a trance, gone fully porcine. Turns out that my kids just drive me mad, and as for my wife, oh Christ, she nags. Close proximity should not be allowed. Do you actually have to blink so loud? You're blinking so loud, you blink so loud. I am wasting my life on the internet. What was I Googling? Oh, I forget? I am sitting here staring at the wall, wondering what is the purpose of it all. Forgot to attend that conference call. Can't even watch sport, there's no football. I'm doing sod all, my life's mothballed, dreaming of all the things I'm going to do when this coronavirus is through. I am finally going to write a book, learn how to mix cocktails and to cook. I am gonna lose weight and get so fit, spend some quality time with the wife and kids. The wife and the kids, my lovely kids. Not much time to go till from quarantine we're free. That's when I will know that my problem's really me.